making it bump loud, shaking the bump wild, ripping the pump style, faking the funk pound, dump, watch the pump, want it now, watch your bounce shit get sunk down, click, click, pow, what, just what I thought was up now.
The Fast and the Furious, or as this is being called, Furious 7, is a 2015 film that was directed by James Wan, not directed by Justin Lin, which is usually how this goes, but no, James Wan's doing it. The plot of this movie is, just like at the end of the last film, we see Jason Statham, who is going after Vin Diesel's group one by one because of what they did to his brother. So Vin Diesel and Paul Walker and everybody has to stop this guy before he kills more of their own. Now, what I thought of this movie was The Fast and the Furious 7, whatever the hell you want to call it this time around, is insane. Remember back when, in the first movie, The Fast and Furious was just about street racing? Well, now it's so much bigger. It's so much crazier. The action in this movie is insane. And some people might be thinking, well, of course, look at the last couple. And that's true, but I feel like this takes the action to even another level. When people complained about how in the sixth movie, the moment when Vin Diesel jumps out of his car to catch Michelle Rodriguez on the highway, if you think that's over the top, and it is, you have at least 4, 5, maybe 6 scenes like that where the action is so crazy, where these characters are in these death-defying situations, doing these things that no normal human being would be able to do and survive, but they're doing it. They're superheroes. They're the Avengers. This is their answer to the Marvel movies. Some of the cast and the characters, Vin Diesel, of course, as Dominic Toretto, who is one of the main characters, the badass that he is. Michelle Rodriguez, who I remember her doing an interview for the last movie, and she complained that she didn't like that her character had amnesia and just didn't remember who she was. Well, it's more of that here. She doesn't remember fucking anything, and that's pretty much what she's going through. You have Ludacris and Tyrese, the two comic reliefs of the group, especially Tyrese was hilarious. Paul Walker, how can you not watch this movie and think and get sad over the fact that this is Paul Walker's very last movie? Not just for The Fast and Furious, but in general, this is it. And it was sad in a lot of ways, just knowing that he's no longer with us and that this is it for him. But even for his character, seeing him in certain action situations, certain situations where he was in peril, and you kind of got more into it for him. You were rooting more for him. He gets a lot to do in this movie. I know that his brother stepped in for him and finished whatever scenes that they had to finish. And there might have been maybe 1 or 2 moments where it kind of looked like I could tell which scenes that they were. But that's just because I'm looking for it. Other than that, you really can't tell. And the send-off that they give for his character, I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give too much of anything away here. But still, what they do for his character was great. It was beautiful. It was one of the best things that they've done in this whole series. And Jason Statham as the villain. Jason Statham is a badass, is a guy who, from the very first scene, when you see him and you see what he's capable of, sure, it's ridiculous, sure, it's over the top like this whole movie is, but I buy Statham being a badass who can walk into a hospital and destroy 30 guys by himself. I buy it. And the fight scenes that he has here with Vin Diesel and The Rock, it's so intense, it's so insane. I should also mention the fact that since he is doing this for his brother, getting revenge for his brother, avenging his brother, you at least understand the character. I'm not saying that I sympathize a lot with him because there's not much more to his character besides he wants revenge. He's almost Terminator-like when he's on his mission. He's in the zone and he just goes straight for Vin Diesel. The Rock, yeah, The Rock is insane. He's a brick house. He's huge. He's ginormous. He has muscles coming out of his neck, just bulging, and every piece of dialogue that he has is that macho, badass type dialogue where everything he says is about kicking somebody's ass. There's even one moment where he gets hurt, so he has a cast on. He literally flexes to break the cast off. I know. That's how ridiculous this is. And you have Kurt Russell, who was a pleasant surprise. It's another one. It's another one of these over-the-top, crazy action. I'm sure people saw in the Super Bowl commercial the moment where Vin Diesel drives that car off of the building into another building. Like, that's the level of ridiculousness I'm talking about. But for me, it's fun. You go along with it, you have a great time, it's a fun ride, and I personally loved it. My rating is a full price. Maybe I'm biased because I love this franchise. I have fun with it, even if I recognize how silly it is. So people, let me know in the comments below if you too are interested in checking out Fast and Furious 7. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.